Okay, here we are out in the shop again. All I've got left to do is just some little touch-up stuff on the Klondikeer. Kind of a disappointing weekend. I had plans to go up to my property up north where I'm pretty sure there's still some snow and there's probably still some good ice on some of my lakes, and take this thing for a test run. I was planning on doing that with the wife. She doesn't want to go. All my other friends already have plans, preoccupied, whatever. They want to go, don't want to go, or can't go. So I wanted it for two reasons. I wanted it for safety, in case something happens, and I got some backup, and I also wanted it for somebody to run the camera while I'm driving the machine. There's a very real possibility this thing won't get driven this year, and the big inaugural drive video will happen next winter. I'm just not going to do it alone. I mean, I take some pretty good risks in my life, do stupid stuff just because I just like, screw it, I'm going to do it, you know. But running a 300-pound plus machine around on honeycomb ice is not right up there on the top of the list of things that I want to do by myself. So therefore, I have a couple other little things I need to do to this thing before I park it for the season. One of those being, I want to put some heat shields on the inside of the hood. Okay, the inside of the hood here. So if you look at the motor, you'll see right there is the muffler. Okay, when the hood is closed, that muffler is like that far away from the top of the hood. That muffler gets very hot, and it's in close proximity to the rack and the rubber pad that I have under the rack. Not only that, but it could blister the paint. So in this corner of the hood, I'm going to put some heat shields to radiate that heat back down so I don't damage my pretty hood. So one of my friends, shout out Jen, woohoo, thank you. She works at a weld supply shop, and she got me a pack of heat shields that welders use. They put these on their wrists. You see there's some elastic on there. They put them on their wrist when they're bracing their arm and they want to do some precision welding. So I'm going to take those. I'm going to cut those elastic bands off, and I'm going to glue these to the underside of the hood, just in that area by the muffler, to keep the heat down in that spot. The machine has got several different spots where the paint has chipped for whatever reason, you know, bumping it, whatever, banging it, getting really mad and hitting it with a hammer. Things like that, where the paint has been a little bit compromised. So I'll do a little touch-up work. I learned my lesson the hard way. Most of the machine was spray painted with rattle cans. That doesn't work when you're trying to do touch-up, because then you get black overspray all over everything. So I've resorted to a little quart jar of black enamel, oil-based enamel, and I'm applying it with a foam brush to spots that need to be touched up. So that's on the list of things to do. And then I would really like to drag the thing out into the yard and give it a bath. It's got a bunch of shop dust on it, grinding dust, welding dust, whatever. Give it a good rinse down and let it dry in the sun. And that should be pretty much it. Then it's ready for storage. You know, I gotta pull the gas out of the tank, drain the tank. Either that or put some stabilizer in the fuel, run the engine a little bit so that gets into the carburetor. I am a strong advocate of always using high test gas in any power equipment outside of your vehicle. Your vehicles have been manufactured nowadays to run on ethanol blended fuels, but they haven't done that on these motors. So ethanol is very damaging to these motors. It's corrosive. If you leave it sit in the carburetor and in the fuel lines, it will actually act like an acid, and it will eat the metal, and then you'll develop leaks. You'll get a lot of corrosion on the inside of there. So it's always a good idea to either run all the gas out of the system, run the engine, starve it for fuel till it quits on its own, or run a high quality fuel stabilizing product in your gas tanks. And then run the engine for about 5 minutes so that circulates through the carburetor. Best practice is to totally shut the system down. Shut your fuel supply off. If you have a full tank of gas, you don't want to siphon it all out and drain the tank so that it dries. Put your fuel stabilizer in there. Run your engine for about 5 minutes, and then shut your fuel supply off to your carburetor, and then actually physically drain your carburetor so you don't have gas sitting in there, because the gas, even the high test gas, will turn to a varnish and gel up over the non-use months. And then when you go to try to start the machine the next time you want to start it, it won't run because all your jet orifices are all plugged up with goo. So there's just some winterizing is the common term for it, but in this case it would be summarizing things that I got to do to the machine before I park it. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got left to do on this, and then it's done. Oh, I do have to build a mud flap for the back. I keep forgetting that. I need a snow flap for the back of the machine. So that's something maybe I could do today too. So yeah, I got a few things to do. So I don't know. Let's get cracking.